Hey ladies, take six. Welcome to the Perfect Woman Show, where we're talking all things time management because the clock is ticking. So we are waiting for ladies to jump on, as well as Adi. Hi, sweetheart. And just give us a moment. Hope everyone's having a great week and had a great Thursday. So we are excited to chat tonight, and we always just have a great time with you. And I do want to start out and say, hey, Adi. The more that we all can chat and collaborate and engage, I know we say that every week, it's super important. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to bring Adi on. Hey there. I said six time is a charm tonight. I'm like,
Didn't everybody get the memo? We were starting at 8:15.
Right on time. I'm like, my veins are coming out. Veins.
Put those veins away.
I did bring my glass of wine, which I'm going to need tonight.
Oh, I forgot I have my
Your
hello, lovely.
From your husband, your hubby. Hello, lovely.
From the hubsies. I'm trying to find a shot where, hello, this is life. This is my daughter's room, and I did not make the bed today, and I don't care.
I purposefully went through the house. I'm like, I haven't made the bed in a while. Let me get back in my routine and commit to like transformation everything. So that's, I know the feeling though. I want to see where I put that pen.
It's just been one of those weeks.
No, I hear you.
It's been one of those weeks, and it's just been like, I'm happy that tomorrow is Friday. The kids, well, Elijah has out of school tomorrow, so
he's off for
he's going to get to sleep in.
Like a teacher's thing?
They have, well, because they're off on Monday for President's Day, so I guess they just gave the kids off because they haven't had enough days off from all the snow.
Of course.
So
what's another
we got
day?
some cool people jumping on. My Aunt Nancy, our friend Lisette. We're just chatting about my messy daughter's bedroom, and that I don't care. Welcome to my world, everybody. I did put the eyebrows on tonight because I
kept mine on.
Like, nobody needs to see no brow, Adi.
I told the eyebrow, like the lady, I was like, I feel naked without my color.
I do.
I'm just like,
yes. I need the color. I told Davey, I was just like, I feel like if I don't have the brows on, then where does my face start? I don't even know. I don't even know. So, anyways, I'm excited for this topic tonight.
Me too.
We are going to be talking about time management, and clearly time was not on our side for the first 15 minutes of the show, but it is all good.
And I even tried cooking earlier today, so we literally got done by like 7 o'clock, 7:15, and I'm like, we're going to be early. This is going to function. And then technology. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like,
was not on the side of JV tonight. So we're going to hop in, though, because we're talking about time management. The clock is ticking. And ladies, we got some good stuff, some good info. So before we kind of hop in, I think those that watch the show, whether it's live or, after we're all done with it, they know that we love to just chat about the week, which we've kind of started. So I'm going to just ask Jenna, as I fix my hair, I'm going to ask Jenna to just kind of like indulge us on her week and let us know how it's been, what's new, what's great.
Great.
What's going on, my friend?
For my perfectly imperfect just overview, it's been a pretty good week overall. Pretty status quo. I would say the definite downer for the week was hearing about that South Florida shooting at the high school.
Yes.
And
I was actually just reading an article about that.
And Peyton's godmother works at the Wall Street Journal in the photo journalism, like the photo editing section. So she gets all the photos and video footage inside the high school. So we were messaging tonight. I'm like, She's like, this is,
She takes the pictures
she doesn't take them. She gets them from all of the photographers in that area.
and then
And then they give
then
them
she
photo.
edits it.
She edits them or gets them cropped and ready to be put into the Wall Street Journal. And then they get photo creds from that photographer. So they get, some publicity the photographer does or the videographer or whatever. But she just said it's like the downer of her job. But so just, and it's right where I used to work, like north of Fort Lauderdale. They're like 15 minutes, right in Broward County, which is where the county we were further away, but I mean, in that general area. And then I would say on the positive side, I know I was messaging you earlier. I am on the pursuit of challenging myself once again. We're getting back into the season of springtime, and
once again, when did it ever stop?
No, I've been so low key the last 6 months. Like, this is me low key.
Really?
I'm like, I'm going crazy over here. I am understimulated.
You're underwhelmed.
Can you fix another bed? I don't know.
Does anybody need a pillow fluffing?
Yeah. This mommy's going crazy. So I'm excited to ramp it back up. And let me know what your thoughts on this, but I was thinking of calling it 365. It's a 365-day challenge. It's called Dream Big Project. So I'm in pursuit of that. And then a part of that, I would just do a daily, like use my photography skills and post it, one of those attitude of gratitude, like a daily AOG, where I'm not only capturing stuff on video, but also taking photos. So the attitude of gratitude is separate than the Dream Big, which is all about creating your legacy and what that means for you, and just a little behind the scenes kind of a thing. So I'm excited.
I love that. That's awesome.
I'm trying to get it more organized, to be able to explain it.
You got a lot ramping up here. Yeah, but you got a lot ramping up with that, creating that, and just being really, like you said, thoughtful and being, just organizing the whole thing. In addition to entering into school again at some, right? That's coming up.
On April 9th, yeah.
Yep, so that's big news and lots more stuff. I mean, you're going to have a busy spring, summer.
And I think the checkpoint is like when you're approaching the next year, birthday year, you're like, what have I accomplished? Just like at the New Year's, like some people do it during the resolution, is like, oh my gosh, another year has come and gone. Like, what have I been able to enjoy or work on or develop? So I feel like that is like a good checkpoint for me, is like the birthday check-in is what I like to call it.
Most people, whenever it's their birthday, they just change their smoke detector batteries. But you, my love, are full force in it.
So how about you? How's your week going?
You're schooling it. You're doing a whole bunch. So the week has been really good. I too, as you know, have been on a quest for knowledge. The topic last week was so awesome. And for those of you that weren't able to watch, you're going to watch at some point, Jenna did a great explanation of career development, of developing yourself within whatever industry you want to work in, and then just providing awesome tips, awesome notes as far as kind of how to navigate that if whoever was watching was interested, which I was very interested. So to piggyback off of that, I have been exploring for myself and within my career just what's my next step. And at this point, I've been very bold, and I started doing some research as far as some trainings that I want to look into to be able to just kind of like increase my skill set and my knowledge within the field that I serve. And I've been bold as far as like speaking to the higher up and really just expressing, what my desire is for my career. So I'm really excited to just kind of see where it takes me, see where I land, and, just kind of, be in the midst of that. So that's been a highlight of this week. In addition, everybody knows that yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I feel like I just, every day is love day in our house, but I just feel like yesterday was such a special day. We had some good family time. Yesterday was a long work day, but it was just good family time, and I really enjoyed that. Um, we really didn't touch on any kind of like maybe perfectly imperfect moments or not so wonderful, or I know that we don't like calling them like low lights or
Yeah,
whatever,
I would
but
say my imperfect, that was the only one, is like the shooting thing on Valentine's Day. I would say it wasn't
I
me
know that.
specific, but I mean, I was like a downer. And then the highlight was putting together the challenge for myself to motivate and hold myself
Yeah.
accountable. Thanks to you, you're my accountability partner as well. But I feel like this is also another like way of staying consistent
It's your
and
own
creative.
personal.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just to see
Yeah.
yourself
Well,
grow
and
and develop over the year.
as a person, yeah, absolutely. So, with that being said, we love the ladies that are hopping on, and if anybody wants to share their perfectly imperfect, any great things going on, or anything that they want to like work on, or
Yeah.
whatever, we're all here to support each other.
And I was going to
Go
mention,
ahead.
this was my mom's. We made these at the art studio. Thank you, Mom. We
That's
made these arts
cute.
and crafts. My little wine/water cup.
You did all the dots on there?
I did. My aunt has the art
That's so
studio. I
cute.
use like the one piece of the, what is it called? The paint thing. And then you like splatter it on.
I love
And then you
that.
just have to cook it in the oven to make
Adorable.
it like stay.
Oh, cute. And the glass doesn't break? This is
So
off
far, so
topic.
good. So far, so good.
But I'm saying in the oven, the glass one's
No,
good.
it just like sets
I
it.
love it.
Thank you.
It just sets
Thank you,
the
Mama.
paint in.
Hmm.
So tonight, ladies, we're going to be talking about time management and the successful woman. Now, Jenna and I feel like we are always striving for pristine time management, even to the point where I don't want to say that we're over schedulers, but I feel like we make it a point to be thoughtful about even time being scheduled with our family and time to do self-care, even if that's just like resting for 15 minutes or snuggling with the kids or whatever that looks like for anybody that's watching. Um, so there's a lot of really great steps to kind of go into time management. And again, that I feel like moms benefit from that time management. Women without children, women who are married, single, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact of whatever's going on in your life that you're able to just juggle, the professional side, the personal side, and everything in between.
Just because I feel like we
So
wear a lot of
I
hats, right? So it's just kind of figuring out at what
we
points of the
do.
day we're transitioning from one to the other.
Right. And I feel like I appreciate balance in my life, and I feel like my family appreciates that balance too. And if I can create that for them, because that I know between my husband and I, that is like my positive skill set. And I'm not saying that he's not balanced in his time, but I navigate that train,
Right.
as far as like what we've got coming up and whatever. So with that being said, some of the things that I like to use, and then I'm going to go through because I just kind of made my own little cheat sheet of tips and tricks. But I would love to hear from Jenna just so she can share, what her idea of time management is and how she kind of juggled everything in life.
You just throwing it over?
So Jenna, go
You're
ahead.
just throwing it over?
I'm just throwing it over.
Tossing it
Yep.
over?
Yep.
From PA
Tossing it.
from PA to VA. I would say the biggest thing that I really like, I do like a physical calendar, but with work, we typically use the digital calendar. So having alerts on the calendar and having things color coded, and always having buffers in my time. So let's say in the morning, a lot of times we're going from like personal time, whether it's meditation, prayer, workout, then you give yourself a buffer, before you have to transition then into getting ready for work, maybe commuting to work. And then I always like to just have time, even in between calls, meetings, lunchtime. So you're not always feeling like you're in a rush. So I think time management is not only blocking it,
Right.
color coding it, knowing that you have free time and creative time throughout your day or throughout your week if you can. So just making sure that you're not only doing, finding that not only the balance, but giving yourself time to breathe that is unscheduled time. Because I think most of us can do back to back to back, but by the end of the day, you either have a headache, you're starving because you missed lunch and breakfast, you're burnt out. So I would definitely say some sort of a calendar is definitely helpful to keep you organized. And some people like the old school way, having both or one versus the other. So I would say that's numero uno. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree. I mean, I have a paper calendar and I have a calendar on my phone, so that way I probably think I have invested a lot in the planner organizational calendar industry, because I've got the paper calendar, I have the laptop calendar, I have a phone calendar, and I also have a dry erase board.
Yep, for the family.
I got it all. Yeah. I think the last thing is like tattooing a calendar on my body and just like writing in the things with pen. I don't even know. I think I'm really organized. Because everywhere I turn, there's like a calendar just reminding me, oh, this is what's going on. So yeah, I agree with you. I like being able to write it down, make my list. It just helps me to stay focused. And like I was sharing with Jenna this week, the paper calendar I've hopped back into using because it is nice for me. And this sounds like, I don't know, maybe it sounds kind of like not like a no-brainer, but I think a lot of times women, whenever you are juggling a lot of things, you do forget. Like for me, I juggle a lot. So even though I'm juggling a lot and I feel organized, there are things that still fall through the cracks or things that I put off because I'm like, I really don't want to deal with that.
Right.
But I like the ability to have that paper calendar to kind of show me that, like, if I just break up the things that I don't want to deal with and just do one task, maybe like once a night or whatever it is, it's just not as hard or as difficult or as daunting.
Right.
So that I agree with you. I like that. And then I like that idea too of the buffer thing. My thing that I do, because it's kind of how I don't want to say been programmed, but kind of how I have become accustomed within the job that I do, is that I always in my brain am operating on a 15-minute increment, because that's just how we do at work, which works for me in my personal life, because I'm like, okay, 15 minutes, and then I'm going to switch over and I'm going to do whatever, But, as we're going into the topic, we'd love to hear from the ladies. I know we've got some moms on here. We have some career women on here and everything in between, and whoever else is hopping on. We'd love to hear from anybody as far as what they enjoy utilizing for time management and, just kind of sprucing up their time management.
And even if there's
that was actually
real quick on that, even if they have any Q&A questions that they want to ask or ask us or ask each other, then we can definitely throw it out there for a topic to discuss.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I think we touched on that topic, or that first step of what kind of calendar do you have?
Right.
That's typically the first thing you think about whenever you're trying to organize your time properly. You think, what's going to work best for me? And then that next thing is like figuring out when you are most productive, whether that's in the morning before everyone wakes up, or, before the sun rises, or is it at night whenever the day has come to a close and you have, some quiet time to just organize your thoughts.
And if I can just real quick give a shout out for these 2 books that will make your morning or your night so amazing.
My charger while you
okay. So the first one I just finished is an Audible. It's called The Morning Miracle. I've heard many of people, there's awesome reviews on Amazon. It's all about the transformation of getting up in the morning before everybody else to be as effective and efficient and productive as possible. You'll totally feel like you own the day. In the book, he talks about you can do this in the evening, but it's most productive in the early morning. And then the second one is the power of consistency. So that's why I'm challenging myself for 365 days in different areas. So consistency in this key is like with time management is being consistent as much as possible with your scheduling to be able to keep that momentum going. So I did want to give those two shout outs that are like by far amazing books that really will give you a kick in the butt.
And I've heard awesome things about that Morning Miracle book.
Mm-hmm.
As far as just like you said, just organizing yourself, and it's like a motivational book, right?
Yeah, and it sets you up for every day. Yeah, there's going to be different things that we do in our schedule and in our calendars, but there's a lot of sequential or sequences and scheduling that is consistent every day. So kind of figuring out what works for you, whether that's like morning, we go back to like the prayer and meditation, then you're doing some sort of like physical workout to get your endorphins going and get your energies up. Because you can, I feel such a difference. This week I'm trying to get back on the train of like daily from 6 to 7 in the morning. So I've done it since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday so far. And I can feel I still have good amount of energy in the evenings versus like feeling like you want to crash, nap, and have a headache by the afternoon.
Yeah.
So little tweaks like that make it so transformational, I feel like, in all areas. Don't you feel like just your spirit or like your mood is lifted when you, a lot of times we know the things that we have to do, but then it's actually implementing them and doing them. Mm-hmm. So I think that is the big hurdle in the mindset.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I feel like for me, going along with that time management piece, it's that, I guess the thing that, really like sets me up is like what you were saying, is that workout, even though I don't do it every day, but even more so than that, it is just what sets me up for my day is being able to have time to myself and being able to just like sit and read whatever I'm choosing to read, have a coffee, and just really just kind of like have a quiet moment before the craziness of the day begins. I feel like that coinciding with time management and just organizing everybody's life is such a help for me outside of, I'm starting to enjoy exercise. It's not that my mind enjoys exercise, but it's like my body's like, I think I could wait, but then I recognize it's important, and it's not even, and we had this topic a couple of weeks ago, it's not even about the weight loss for me. It's just about, like what you were saying, how you feel and how your body feels and how your body wakes up from what you're doing for it,
And if you listen, so, I feel like for you, Adi, specifically on the workout topic, I would say you have to get more out of the physical. Like, yeah, I would rather sleep another hour or whatever, but like it's literally you're recreating what I keep telling myself based on the one book, The Power of Consistency, of like you are literally reprogramming or rewriting the instructions in the assembly box. Like imagine you have a box, I think he called it like a bicycle box, and the instructions in there are based on what your subconscious is programmed to do, or whatever the instructions are. So you are then reprogramming it based on consistent little changes and implementations on a daily basis. So if you, every morning, I would be like, I'm tired, just stay in bed. But I'm like, no, Jenna, you feel good after you do X, Y, and Z. You're going to get the day started. You're going to feel so much better. And it's like just psyching yourself up and rewriting your, whatever's in that box, the instruction manual, to reprogram yourself. And if you do it enough, they say that's how successful people in all areas of like, you are retraining yourself how to think.
Right, and I totally agree with you. And I guess my thing was, it was never an excuse of not wanting to wake up early because
you're already up.
I wake up. Yeah, that I'm already up. But it's like I will kind of say, oh, well, I don't have time for the exercise portion because I need to do X, Y, and Z first, But I think like once I, like you said, recognize like, I do feel good after I do it. I am even more energetic, and so just including that into my schedule and not feeling like I need to do it every single day, even though I go back and forth, because I feel like because I previously was like, oh, I'll do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I feel like those Tuesday, Thursday in between, I get like a little, I don't want to say lazy, but it's like I get a little bit like, okay, I don't have to exercise this day. Then Wednesday comes and I'm just kind of like, eh.
That's
So
how
I
I
feel like
was.
for me,
Yeah.
potentially Monday through Friday,
That's what
that's why
I'm
I had said
thinking.
Monday through Friday, I need to do like a 15-minute, even if it's just for 15 minutes, get my heart rate, and this is kind of off topic of the time management, but it still is valuable because it helps. It's kind of off topic, but it does help with your time management because it's like if you can dedicate yourself to even 15 minutes of taking care of your health and your body and just kind of waking yourself up, or I mean, I know there are some women that work out in the evening time, whatever it is for you to kind of plug in to that portion of, that wheel of life that we kind of sometimes refer to. I think it's important because it just helps you continue moving yourself, and
But
striving for more. Go ahead.
no, I want to make sure you're finished before I add
I'm
something
done.
onto that. I was going to mention that a lot
Okay.
of companies add in their benefits, they'll reimburse you for the gym memberships because you actually are more
Right.
productive with your time management and let's say in that 1 hour, if you were to work out in the morning, you're producing more and getting more done. You might even not even need the full hour to do whatever that assignment is. So there is science behind and like data
Yeah,
analytics behind
it's true.
how it links to time management and
Hmm.
productivity. So it is kind of on
Right.
topic.
It is. You're right. It is kind of on topic. You are right. You are right. Yeah. So definitely, whatever helps you to be more productive, do that. Do that, ladies. As long as it's good for your body and it's good for your mind. Um, so we talked about just kind of figuring out when you're most productive and then prioritizing your day, whether that looks like a to-do list or if it looks like sticky notes everywhere, giving yourself reminders in the car or whatever, whatever prioritizing yourself for a visual looks like, then do that. I know I do the to-do list situation, and I'm sure Jenna does the same thing. In fact, I know you do the same thing. So, that's beneficial. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I have started to steer away from the to-do list and only just put, because a lot of times like a to-do list could be like a whole page and then you feel overwhelmed. So now I just outline like my top 2 or 3 key things that are like deal breakers. Like I need to get these done for it to be a successful
Mm-hmm.
day and to know that I'm accomplishing something. I would say no more. I don't like to overwhelm myself. So for me, I don't like to put any more than like 3 to 5 for the day.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll start
And
rolling
that's good that you
over.
said that. Right. And that's good that you said that. I should clarify. So when I say to-do list for myself, this is what it looks like. So in the planner that I have, I like it because it's sectioned out per day. And on the top of the page, it has 3 tasks that you want to complete in the day. And so that's where I set in those 3 things
Good.
that are adulting. That's like my adulting portion.
Right.
So that way I can tackle it and I'm like, wow, that was not so bad. I feel good. And then, I mean, I do have a running to-do list that I keep on my phone, but it's not something that I know I have to look at every day. So it's just, again, it's finding what works, what's gonna, like give yourself that flow that you need to be able to accomplish whatever you have going on in life and just to maintain your productivity so that, like you said, you can feel like you've accomplished something
Right.
for the day or for the week.
And before we continue on, because I would love to learn about Einstein time, I know you want to give us a little education. I did want to ask you, what are your thoughts on, in addition to your short top 3 items to do for the day, adding 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for? What are your thoughts on setting up the day and having your mind open and aware for gratitude, a heart of gratitude?
So you're asking me like,
The
what are
importance
my
of
thoughts
that,
on?
finding stuff that we're grateful for versus we can always produce, we can always manage our time, but like finding time in the day that we're managing to also find things that we're
Mhm.
grateful for, whether it's personally, like with our friends and family, coworkers, peers, just
So what you're asking the question of when am I locating time to give recognition to that?
Not you specifically. I think I'm just saying for the ladies, like if that's an important piece as well, finding time during this time management throughout the day for adding like,
I mean, I think that's a really awesome question to ask, and I'm hoping that the ladies are going to chime in because that's a really good one. And I feel like for me, because I'm part of the group, I'm a lady, but I feel like for me, that I think like whenever I recognize, hi Manny and Sue, I feel like when I recognize, like what you were saying, giving a moment of recognition to some things that I am grateful for, it does kind of like make me feel like, okay, these are the reasons why I want to be so focused and why I want to be able to accomplish whatever it is that I've set myself up for in the day.
right.
Whether that's, okay, I want to accomplish these XYZ tasks so I can make time to spend more with the family. Or I want to accomplish whatever, because, whatever. But I think that it is important to give yourself that moment of like, wow, I can say that I'm grateful for whatever it is, because I think the main example for me is like I want to be able to accomplish, like I said, whatever I have going on, so that way I can invest more time, either if it's for self-care or if it's, either it's going to be the time that I'm going to spend, that's extra time, is either going to be for myself or it's going to be for my family and friends, but it's just about balancing that and making it work and not over extending yourself, which we're going to hop into.
So to continue on, then talk to us, give us a highlighted overview. I know you're stoked to talk about Einstein time. I've never heard of that before. So educate me. I would love to know.
And it's funny because I've never heard about that either. And so when I was doing the research and just trying to figure out something, behind this whole time management thing, because I feel like especially nowadays, everybody is trying to I feel like everybody's like hawking a planner or is like, buy my planner and buy these inserts and, oh, look at this meal planning. And
it can get overwhelming.
It is so overwhelming. And it's like, look at this cute piece of paper that's going to cost you $50. Please buy it. And it's just like, if it's not laced in gold, I don't want it. I can definitely use a napkin to write my to-do list, and I'll be A-okay, and I'll still be freaking productive. Okay, people? So
I get excited.
I feel like with the
Am I the only one with veins on my forehead? Like when Cindy and Stan took my birthday picture, I'm like, happy 33, my veins are coming out. I'm like, just gotta love yourself how you are. You just gotta love it.
Or just inject Botox in your forehead.
But I don't even think that helps.
No, it does. I mean, it's basically killing your face. You're beautiful no matter what.
Just have to relax.
Veins and all. Veins and all. I'll just smile really crinkly in all of my
right
what
here.
Are these called again?
Not cat eyes.
Crow's
feet. Cat eyes.
I was going to call them crowbars, but I'm like, that's not right.
Not right.
So, Einstein time. I'm
glad you're on track.
It does not involve Botox, and it does not involve crow's feet.
We just threw you for a loop.
When I was... Okay. It's all part of the fun of the show. So, how's that wine working for you? Is it
I didn't even have that much. I'm getting into red wine, which I'm usually a juice wine, a vino juice girl, Hugo, and we don't have any. I haven't been buying any. So I'm drinking up like the last 2 bottles that PJ had from like back in the day.
Like, is it a sweet red or
no.
a dry red?
We are drying it out. Like my taste buds have totally changed.
Wow.
I am just making changes over here.
You are. Soon you're going to be eating rare steak, and I'm not going to know what to do with you.
Who are you? And what challenge are you on? What challenge?
Who is this woman called Jenna? What? Soon I'm going to be calling you Henna.
Hannah.
J is silent.
Hannah in Habeen. That's what we call Jaden. Habeen. Literally
Habeen.
at the doctor's when he was a baby, they're like, Habeen. I'm like, it's Jaden.
It's just
And
Jaden.
when they called Peyton in for her first visit, they thought it was a boy and it was a girl because Jaden could be either.
Jaden could be.
I'm sorry, Peyton could be either.
Peyton Jolie. But it's like when
well,
you
yeah,
see
we
the
have to
middle
add
name,
Jolie.
I mean, come on.
And then they're back on.
Peyton Jolie. She's a chica. She is a sweetie little chick. Okay,
So you
Einstein
ready for
time.
us? Yeah, teach us.
I'm ready. Okay, so when I was doing the research and just trying to kind of like see what else was out there as far as time management, because again, so many people talk about time management and planners and all of that kind of stuff, which are awesome, but it can get kind of boring because lots of people have talked about it. So when I was going in through this Einstein time, of course, we all know who Albert Einstein is. If you don't, then hop yourself outside of your rock that you've been living under and
go Google.
Read a dang book. Okay. Google it. So Einstein time. So I love this quote because Albert Einstein said, "We are most productive," and I'm reading this off of my notes, "we are most productive when we focus on very small number of projects which we can devote a large amount of attention to."
Focus.
And I think the problem is that and again, I might be throwing a blanketed statement, but I feel like when we talk about that definition of productivity, we think to ourselves, again, because we have to be productive in our jobs, and we as women want to be super women and want to, we want to sleep 2 hours and then, we want to tell everybody how productive we are and what we've done. And, I've baked 1 million cookies and I haven't slept. I'm living off of coffee. And don't you love how fabulous I am? And it's like, you need a nap and take a dang shower.
Sleep
okay?
is important.
Like
it's underrated. Is that the right way? Underrated.
Sleep is very important. It is a portion of being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, you need it. So, we're not vampires. We must sleep.
Right?
Because vampires don't sleep. So, well, that's a whole other topic. But vampires, whatever. We're going to move on from that.
We're bringing her back.
Who's drinking the wine over here? Is it me or you?
I'm wondering what's in that fancy cup. What's in that fancy cup?
I swear it's coffee, but I'm wondering if it's laced.
She's smuggling vino.
Good. It tastes like coffee. My goodness.
I'll pour some in for you. I literally only have like a tiny bit.
One for my homies. Okay. So Einstein time is just that. In short, where I said the quote, "We are most productive when we focus on a very small number of projects, which we can devote a large amount of time to." It's just that. Focus. It's recognizing that you don't have to be a superwoman and just do everything all at once. It's itemizing those tasks, like we were saying before, about choosing 1 to 3 tasks to kind of accomplish, and then knowing that you've got other things to do, but space it out so that way you can
do like chunks of time and then taking a break. Yeah. No, that's good.
Exactly. So I feel also like a lot of times, and I had written a note, that quality is more important than the quantity of time we have, because we only have 24 hours in a day. So if you think about it, it should be that 6 to 8 hours of that time should be dedicated to sleeping, because it is part of your health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of that, you have to be able to divide out, whether, that's obviously if you are working, and then whatever else, so it's almost kind of like a budget. We have 24 hours in our budget. And then as we start deducting 6 to 8 hours for sleep, typical work day is 7 to 8 hours. So then there's another deduction. And then whatever you have left is the amount of time you have. So either you can be productive in utilizing your other hours wisely and being able to kind of focus in and say, okay, this time I'm going to dedicate to myself. I'm going to dedicate to my kids. I'm going to cook a healthy meal. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to make time to literally just sit here and take a breather, because that's also important too. You know, rather than being on the go all the time, it's important to recognize and listen to your body whenever it's time to also slow down,
And also,
because we forget that.
right. And also,
Go ahead.
fortunately for us, there's not as much commute time. We're just, you know, dropping the kids off or going to the grocery
Right.
store, depending on what the activities are for the day. But some people, even in those 24 hours, have to calculate anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, some commute times are pretty
Yep.
long.
And that right there, again, that right there, commuting can be so exhausting and so draining and so aggravating. It's dependent on where you live. If you live in New York City, you're definitely aggravated. Or if you work in New York City and you live, you know, in Pennsylvania or somewhere in the surrounding area, that right there is an aggravating trip, you know, or if you have to ride the bus or whatever it is that you're doing. Hold on, now I have to fix my, hold on one second.
So while you're doing that, I want to kind of transition on then to, I know this is something we've talked about before, but learning to be comfortable with saying no to certain obligations or certain priorities can definitely help free up time. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where we start talking about like saying no, kind of taking a break from social media. And I've had this thought of disengagement equals engagement, because whenever you can kind of disconnect with things that aren't important or they don't really matter necessarily, then you're able to connect with other things that do matter and that are important.
Or relationships. That's something, you know, relationships in real life versus solely the ones that are virtual and online.
Exactly. Which, yeah, your real life relationships should definitely be more important than, what's the recent pair of shoes that somebody has just bought and taken a stupid picture of and put it on Facebook, or, you know, whatever the situation is, you know? Am I being very assertive tonight? I feel like I'm just cracking the whip.
You're taking the lead. I had a training this week real quick on communication about being assertive, and it was really good at work.
Awesome.
It was good.
Did you take notes?
I did, and I opened up my laptop today, and a Post-it flew out of there. It was about my assertiveness, what I learned this week.
Awesome. So just to kind of recap, we talked about prioritizing your time, figuring out what planner works best, whether it's digital or on paper. We talked about Einstein time and just kind of providing quality task accomplishments and how you manage your time over quantity. And that is in regard to the quantity of things that you do, but you might do them crappily. Is that a word?
Yeah, they
crappily?
say multitasking is not a good thing to try. They say...
Yeah, because you're not really dedicating. I mean, multitasking, I feel like,
depending if it's like house chores, then that's okay. But I mean, like, to be focused and be productive, focusing on one thing at a time.
Focusing on and giving it your full attention. Right. I totally agree. And then I think to kind of sum everything up, as an individual, as a woman, I think it's also important to ask for help. Ask for assistance if there is something that, like, you want to do, but you can't get to, and you know that either a significant other or your spouse or your children or whoever that you entrust to be able to do that task for you.
I'm trying to think the way that they you're gonna say.
I was going to say, personally, I like to just give my husband the things that I don't want to do and make it seem like I just don't have the time.
Right. And I think it's being assertive, whoever, whether it's the kids you're asking or your spouse or partner, of like, this is what I need. I think the one statement that they were saying this week of assertiveness was like, it would make me... Did they say like it would make me feel... No, it would make me... Just the way that you position the assertiveness like statement makes people more on board with helping versus like, do you think that you might have time to maybe do the
Yeah, 'cause
laundry
then
or the
you're giving
dishes.
them
There's
a
no
way
option,
out.
right? It's like,
Right.
I'm working on this.
Yeah.
Can you work on, not can you, what's the best way of like,
Hmm.
I need you to
It's just like,
do,
hey, I'm doing this.
I need help
Yeah.
with X. Right.
Hmm. And then, yeah, and then I usually like with my spouse, it's just like, hey, I've got this going. I'm gonna need you to do this, and I always follow it up with a thank you, because I want him
I'm
to
cutting out
know
my
that I
pleases and
recognize.
thank yous. Peyton asked me the other night, you can learn so much from kids. Peyton's like, God, Mom, why do you say please all the time? I'm like, I don't know. I need to stop. I need to kick that. So now I'm like, please, can you help, please? Did you please? And I'm like, Jenny, you just
Uh-huh.
need to stop with the please and the thank yous. You're just going to be
Stop
assertive.
with the please.
So
There you
When
go.
Peyton called it out, I'm like, if a 3-year-old is noticing the pleases, somebody's
Hmm.
got to kick it.
See, I guess for me, I'm flipping the scripts because I was always like, do the dishes.
Like, do you
And
want
I
to
was
feel
all,
like you want to help with the dishes?
yeah, I was a little bit harsh and I was like, I've got this, go. Like it was a commandment
Oh,
over like a, hey,
yeah.
can
I
you
just, my spouse
now
works
I'm
better
just,
like, go do this. I
yeah,
need that. He doesn't need the pleases
I
and the
found a middle
flowers.
road. Right. It's like, just get the darn thing
Yeah.
done. No,
Or
I
we're
hear
going to
you.
be living in
I hear you.
a homeless shelter.
In squalor. Like, do you want to eat off the dishes from last night that are still
Still
dirty? If
piling.
not, go clean the darn things. Yeah.
And thankfully, part of this
No,
like
I hear you.
consistency thing is like just getting all the dishes put away, getting everything in good order, and then
Yes.
throughout the day, the kids and
Yeah.
PJ help. But
And
it
you know
gets
what?
crazy,
And
yeah.
kind of talking about that and like talking about you just saying earlier, like if I have to make one more freaking bed and one more like boring thing to just do around the house, I totally get it. But it's funny because as boring as those tasks are, they're necessary
Oh
again
yeah,
in order to and
I am
to
all for
to
them.
accomplish
I am
others.
all for
Yeah.
them because they say that millionaires. What do they say? Like the people that are most productive, like set their beds for the day and they prepare like everything's in a good
Mhm.
order. So I'm all for it, but I just need to be stimulated in other areas as well, or I start getting a little
Right.
nutty. I
So that
can't just be
way,
like, what do they call it, Betty Crocker of the house or whatever. I'm like,
June Cleaver.
that would drive me
June
like
Cleaver.
I need a
Yeah.
nice mix of things to stay stimulated.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like,
You mean you don't just want to make your family's beds and cook them dinner and
I'm sure
just
they
be
would be
there when they come
happy. I
home?
might be suicidal, but they might be happy.
Well, and I think that just goes with that whole healthy balance of
Right.
like recognizing that yes, those tasks are important, albeit super boring, but necessary. And then being able to still have that outlet, whatever that outlet is
Right.
for whoever, you know, to kind of to express yourself.
Right. And the last thing before we close out for tonight, I would definitely say making sure not only
Hmm.
time for yourself, but things you enjoy and like creative outlets. Some people like, or even like your
Hmm.
hobbies. I think a lot of times that's on the back burner, but you can, I know
Yeah.
I feel so much more fulfilled and like joyful and happy when I'm every once in a while. It's not going to be every day or every week, but like when you just remember, oh my God, when I was younger, I used to like
Yeah.
arts and crafts or ceramics or sports or
Right. And
whatever.
you pick it up. Yeah, and you pick it up as an adult.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I want to do. Okay? Get this. Get this. So what I want to do is there is this program at St. Luke's. It's called the Cuddler Program, and you
The
literally
babies.
volunteer
I
to
know.
snuggle those little sweethearts.
No, that sounds
I want to
awesome.
do that.
That's a great idea.
Yes. I just want to hold a baby. That's all I need.
Get it out of your
I have two
system.
babies that I love. Definitely love those children.
I love that
Love them
idea.
because I birthed them.
I love that idea.
But I want to snuggle a baby so bad. So that's what I want to do.
Snuggle
That's
baby.
when outside of everything else that I'm doing and whatever, reading and researching and just kind of spending my fun time on, that gets my Gets me jazzed. I want to cuddle a baby. That's all I want.
The highlight. No, that's a great idea.
The highlight. So, ladies, we're going to close tonight because we want to definitely still stay on time. You know, it's 9:05, and we know that
We started late.
everybody is just dying. We did, but it's all okay. Everybody's just dying to write in their planners and get ready for the day tomorrow. Everybody fixing their Friday days.
Woo-hoo.
So happy about that. I know I'm going to race downstairs and write in my planner because it is so exciting.
And it's wrapped in gold. It is wrapped in gold, like you said. It has gold foil.
Yeah, but it's not real gold. I mean,
It's as close as you're going to get.
it's costly. Costly like gold. It's not real gold. So that paper, I think I'm going to reuse it. Can I reuse it?
You can do whatever
Maybe
you
I'll
want.
I'm going to turn it into toilet paper after I'm done.
Which reminds me, we ran out of toilet paper. It has to go on that number 3 to-do list. And coffee.
Yep, that's the final to-do list right there. That's the topper.
All you need is coffee and toilet paper.
You know what, though? You actually kind of do. Ladies, this is way too much TMI, and if you want to hop off, I mean, you really do need toilet paper after you drink coffee because it's unknown.
So we're down to...
It's unknown.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight before we dive too deep.
Before we start losing ladies and their interest.
We have to calculate toilet time.
Do we have any viewers out there?
TT toilet time. So we're excited, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. I know it's mainly Audie and I chatting, which we're totally cool with as well.
I love it. It's all good for me.
But we'll definitely comment down below if there's any other, perfectly imperfect moments or any other time management skills, feedback, tips, and tricks. We would love to hear from you. And Audie, next week, where will we be? On Thursday? My voice is going.
As far as topics?
Just like what time will we be back here next Thursday?
We're going to be back here at 8 a.m. Nope, not 8.
Are we?
8. You didn't get the memo? You didn't get the memo tonight that we were starting at 8:15. Okay? And you didn't get the memo that we were starting at 8 a.m. What? Where's our
media? Where are our media people? Where are they at? Where is our VA, virtual assistant?
Phil? They're filling my empty cup. What is happening? And they did not make my bed today. So, anyways, ladies, we're going to be back here at 8 p.m. next week
Thursday
with another fun-filled topic that we will share
between now and then.
And we hope to see, and we hope to see all you ladies back here. Invite your friends, invite your enemies, invite the ladies.
Invite your ladies.
Invite the ladies, because we love sharing, we love living life together, whether it's literally together or virtually or whatever the case is. So, cheers to ya.
A&J checking out. Have a good night, ladies.
Checking out.
See ya.
Mic drop. Peace.